And welcome in another edition of Strategies for Living, live from the Suddenlink Bossier Parish Community College studios, high atop the big Building D, looking out at Coach Billy Wayne Montgomery Gym over there. It's a cold, wet, rainy day. I guess wet and rain go together. And here we were 70-something yesterday, and we're about 25 degrees colder today. But the good news is this won't last. Tomorrow's going to be halfway decent, and Wednesday is going to be another potentially thunderstormy day. So you'll need to keep an eye to the sky. Tom Pace, your host for Strategies for Living, your guest host for David McMillan. Proud to be here. And, you know, we always like to start the week off with some sort of a positive story. And today is March the 11th, 2019. Can you believe that we're just, about 4 days away from the middle of the month? And we just got through daylight saving time, and I hope everybody remembered to set their clocks ahead 1 hour because you were late for church if you didn't. Congratulations to the LSU basketball team. Despite whatever issues they might be facing, they are the Southeast Conference champs. Beat Vanderbilt, Tennessee lost, so they're the outright champs. So congratulations to the Tigers. Today on Strategies for Living, a very special guest joins me in studio. This man is a member of the Lions Clubs. And across the United States, we're the oldest public service organization there is, 100 years old. And Bud isn't that old. I want everybody to understand, this is Lion Bud Bird. He's past district governor and past council chair, and Lion Bud has been around, and he understands what the Lions Clubs are all about. Lion Bud from the North Shreveport Lions Club, and I too, past president as well. But Lion Bud, we have an event coming up in about, I guess nearly 3 weeks, March 23rd, called the Clay Shoot.
Right.
The North Shreveport, the Shreveport Lions Club's Clay Shoot to help raise money for the Cub Sight program and for our camp down in Leesville, Louisiana. First off, thanks for being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell everybody what is this Clay Shoot all about? Where does the money go, and what do we do with it?
The Clay Shoot is just inviting shooters in to pay, and we go out and hunt sponsors for the shoot from 4-H, and we have to get sponsors for them. It is just a fun day. They get 100 shots, walking 15 different target areas at the Flying Q, which is in North Bossier Parish, a beautiful place out there.
It's a sporting clay.
It's a sporting clay trout
shoot.
And it's fun. We sell raffle tickets on a beautiful $2,100 shotgun that retails for $2,100, and that helps. And then the monies all go to the camp and the I Foundation and our local Cub Sight.
See, a lot of people don't understand Lions Clubs, what we do, what is our mission. Well, we serve, for number one. Number two, there was a lady, and I think a lot of people will remember the name Helen Keller. It goes back, I think, to 1925, Bud.
Right.
Tell us about what Helen Keller said to the Lions.
She asked them, or told them, to be Knights of the Blind is her terminology, and they picked it up, and we worked on site projects ever since 1925. We started in 1917, is when Lions Club International was found, and right now we have 1,400,000 members in the world, and we're the largest service agency in the world. But everybody does different things wherever they are around the world. There's 40,000 Lions Clubs in the world. And we're in China and Russia, the Middle East, you name it. And it's interesting to go to an international convention and see how big this thing really is.
You've been there, you've done that, and you've gotten the patch probably and the flag. So this Clay Shoot, we were talking about first off, it's a $10 donation to the North Shreveport and the Shreveport Lions Clubs, because what you're going to do is you're helping save a child's eyesight. especially the little kids up to age 6. And as a bonus, if you make the $10 donation, you're entered into a raffle to where you can get about a $2,100 shotgun, a Browning Maximus with 4 chokes. That's just a bonus, but you're investing in a child's eyesight. Tell them about the piece of equipment that we have and what it can do. What does it serve?
We have a camera that's highly technical. We're not technical, so it has to be made for people like us that are running or photographing it. And it is the biggest factor it does. We go to, right now we're working on 2-year-old to 5-year-old kids, and it can be adjusted a little bit for older, but if we can find the lazy eye that shows up, you can't find it with just eye charts and whatever, but this camera can detect a lot of things. We take a picture with that. It's all digital. The camera prints out a little form with numbers on it that means something, and then they go to the Eye Foundation in New Orleans, which is in the LSU ophthalmology department down there, and they read them and send them back. And we're working right now with nurseries, church nurseries, daycares, and latest has been in Caddo Parish. We have now all of Caddo Parish. We just finished getting all their students in that age bracket.
And a lot of Head Start.
A lot of Head Start. Well, that's where it is. I mean, as far as Head Start, but we haven't had them before. But they were, once they saw the camera and saw what we were doing versus what they were doing then, and you can find the things without the camera so foolproof. We just simply get it in the right direction, and it's coaching us with lights to where we got it focused the way we want it. And it takes a picture when it's ready, and it tells you the student needs to be referred or
they're
okay. And the okay ones, it all goes on file, and we go back and catch those that are absent that day. And so anyway, it's a lot of fun.
Well, let me interject. We're talking about a camera about like this. If you will remember an old Polaroid camera, think of that as kind of a base. And on this camera is crammed in $8,000 worth of digital equipment that will diagnose amblyopia, better known as lazy eye. $8,000 camera. And all you have to do, and consider this a large camera, is you point it, and the child sits on the other side, and it's got a little smiley face on there so as not to scare the child. And if we can hold that child's attention for 30 seconds, that camera will focus on the child's eyes like that, and it will immediately tell whether or not they've got lazy eye or not, which can be corrected up to age 6. Is that right?
It's very easy. The ophthalmologists tell us that if you catch it early, before 6, they can correct it easy, but if you get past that, it's going to be a major problem for the child.
And what we do, this is free. This is one of our service projects, is the Cub Sight program, as we call it, for Lions, and the Cubs would be the small kids. So this would be the Cub Sight program. And then, let me see here. I think I've got a couple of minutes before break. We're also going to remind you that if a Lion comes to you and says, hey, how would you like to help sponsor a team of 4-H kids? Because there's a lot of kids that are being taught gun safety through the Lions clubs, and they're also being taught sporting clay shooting to where they shoot skeet or the sporting clays. And so that's part of what we do. And if you sponsor a team, a 4-H team, and we've had them from Bossier, and we've had them from
DeSoto. We've already got DeSoto booked. We've got Bossier booked. We'll have a Shreveport or Caddo, but they come from all over. Wherever they want to, they're welcome to come.
All right. So you say, Tom, what's the investment? It's $100 per kid, and if you individually want to sponsor a child, and they're not a member of the team, don't worry, we'll put them on one. If you want to sponsor the entire team, how many's in a team normally?
5.
5, so it's $500. And so that being the case, just understand that this money goes to our project fund, and this is to help fund the actual screening of those eyes. That does not cost the parent, it doesn't cost the school, it doesn't cost the daycare one penny. We do this as one of our public service, right?
Right.
What is it that's so important about this line, Bud?
Well, it's free for one thing, and it detects something. If you think about it, you take a 2-year-old child into the ophthalmologist's office and see how long it's going to take. And my own ophthalmologist said we find out in just a few seconds really what it takes them 30 minutes to find. If they can hold a 2-year-old steady, that's the key.
There's the challenge. I mean, I had 2-year-olds, and I've got a pair of twin grands that will soon be 2 years old. And let me tell you, they scoot around. I'll tell you what, there's also our Lions Camp in Leesville.
Right.
And I'm going to hold you for that because this, we're going to go to break here in about a minute. We're going to hold Lion Bud here because he's going to tell us all about the Leesville Lions Camp for kids that have disabilities. And I don't mean just little kids. I mean up to the teenage years. And he'll explain all that. And that's free to the parents. So it is Strategies for Living. I'm your guest strategist host, Tom Pace from the Talk of the Town, here with Lion Bud Bird, a past district governor, past council chair. And we're right here at Bossier Parish Community College. It's Strategies for Living on this Monday, March the 11th, 2019. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Lion Bud Bird standing by.
I am protecting life on our planet.
Day by day, with every single thing I do.
I conserve the world's biggest forests.
I safeguard the rivers
and oceans.
I stand up for coral reefs,
rainforests,
tundras,
deserts,
and grasslands.
I work with communities in the Amazon,
the Arctic,
The Congo,
and the Himalayas.
I collaborate with the biggest companies on Earth
to make their processes and their products more sustainable.
I influence governments
to create policy that recognizes and respects
the importance of nature.
I give a voice to all animals who call Earth their home.
I'm protecting life on our planet.
But because I'm with WWF,
I am not doing it alone.
6,000 staff.
6 million members.
in over 100 countries.
For more than half a century.
Businesses, foundations,
governments,
communities,
individuals,
and one iconic panda.
Together, we are protecting life on our planet,
including our own.
Because together,
anything is possible.
Back live from Bossier Parish Community College Telecommunications Building D, or the big communications building, right here in Bossier City. Tom Pace, the talk of the town, as your guest strategist host, in for David McMillan. And again, it's your Monday, March the 11th. Yes, it is rainy and it's cold, but that will not deter us from talking about the Lions Club and what do we do to help our communities. Various projects that are more fundraising. When the money comes in, then we provide help to various community projects. And one of those is helping kids with their eyesight, we've talked about, but the other is helping disabled kids. At a camp in Leesville, Louisiana, and Lion Bud Bird, past district governor, past council chair, our special guest today. Lion Bud, you've been down to Leesville. You go down there all the time. Tell people, what is that camp about? How big is it? And what does it do?
We have been in the camping business now for 61 years. And that camp was actually 3 years into it. We had 100 acres at that time given to us by the Leesville Lions Club, and we built a camp there. And it's a camp like any other camp. It's got a swimming pool, it's got an archery range, it's got a BB gun range, it's got all the things you want, beautiful woods, and nowadays nice air-conditioned, well-done dormitories. It started out, we do have an area that's kind of wilderness now that they can put kids out there that want to go to there.
But these are kids with disabilities.
All of them are.
What kind of disabilities?
Well, we have to start off the summer with a week of pulmonary camp, and then we have a week of cancer camp. And after that, it's physical handicap and mentally handicapped kids together for a 2-week span. And actually it's 3, I guess. And then we have 2 weeks of just diabetic kids. And that is a learning process. We have a lot of people that come in there and work with the kids. And they start at 6 years old, by the way. We see a lot of these kids.
Kids with diabetes as young as 6?
As young as 6. And that juvenile diabetes has become a major thing for Lions Club International beginning this year. That they're going to make a push on it, just like we have the other things
to help eradicate, like we did
polio, and measles. We helped the Rotary Club cover the world with measles because they didn't have the infrastructure in Africa to get the thing done. So we have merged with other people because we do have infrastructure in all third world countries that we have. But anyway, the camp is a gorgeous place.
How big is it? How many
acres? 175 acres now. Pine trees and open area, and they can play ball. People say, well, what kind of kids? Well, you've got all kinds. We have blind children, we have amputee children, you name it.
Wheelchairs?
Wheelchairs. Our swimming pool has a ramp that you can actually roll a chair. It's not a wheelchair. They have a couple of them, and you can put it's made out of plastic with wheels. It's a child in it and roll into the shallow end of the pool. They swim with everybody else, and it's an amazing thing to see them. One of my good friends in the world lives in Houma, Louisiana, and he has no arms. He was born without arms, and he was one of our first campers down there years ago. And he'll tell you what it was when he got there, in the early days, and what it did for him in making him understand that he wasn't the only kid in town that had a problem.
And I think one of the things that people might need to understand, when we say kids with diabetes and they're there for a week, 2 weeks, that means the parents aren't there.
Right.
Is that right? And there is
they're there for a week. There's 2 separate groups. We have 100 each week with them. And we'll have 600 kids in that camp this year because of the way that the American Handicapped Camper thing judged children. They've been there, but the cancer camp and the pulmonary camp, we weren't allowed to because they brought people in, and we're still going to bring them in. Nothing's changed. They just let us start counting those.
And so when these kids are there that are diabetics, then it's all diabetic kids, so nobody is different. They get to all be amongst themselves, and many times they learn how to give themselves shots.
And that's the hardest thing we do is get kids away from mom and daddy. Mamas and daddies that want to protect that child and don't think they can't go to camp, and they go down there and play in the dirt and do whatever, like kids do. And it's amazing, and I've been doing this for a long time. You go down there the day we take them in on Sunday. They go in by noon on Sunday, and they come out the following Saturday. Either we take them home or take them there, or the parents do.
They do have to get a permission slip from the doctor.
They have to have a physical from the doctor with all of their medications, everything on there. And we have a nurse, a registered nurse there every minute of the whole camping session, several of them that work in and out. And they check the medication, they dispense the pills, and there's no mistakes of a kid carrying his pills around, that type thing.
And the good news about this is the kids now are independent, and they get to blend with other kids, so they don't feel awkward.
That's the biggest thing. That they cry when they get there the first time. They don't want to go. They're kind of the parents probably build that in them, and then when it comes Saturday, they don't want to go home. And it's really a unique thing. And you sit down there, they have a big to-do on Friday night that's kind of the final campfire deal, and that really sees the parents and see what they've done all week.
Now, Lion Bud, I think it's important for everybody to understand, this doesn't cost the parents one penny.
Not one dime.
We as Lions cover this.
Right. It cost us, I'm on the finance committee and have been for years, and this year our budget's $635,000. It cost us to run that camp, and the grocery bill down there with kids eating is tremendous.
We've had some help from Brookshire's and others.
People donate, and that helps out. Give in kind. We have groups that'll go to Sam's and buy up cleaning supplies.
To donate to us.
To give to us, to take to the camp. So if you know anyone who'd like to donate things from mops on, we gather them and take them to the camp. They have to be new, but it's a heck of a deal as far as keeping it clean and germ-free. We have a major problem, just making sure.
Disinfectant and all
Disinfectant all the time. We've had a couple of little breakouts of things over the years, but nothing bad.
Well, I tell you what, so now we're wrapping up. Lion Bud Bird, past district governor, past council chair, member of the North Shreveport Lions Club. He's been the past president, and you name it. Whatever is past is past. But Lion Bud, I think to wrap it up, the $10 tickets, the donation for the shotgun, that money goes toward our project with the Cub Site program and also Leedsville.
And we donate money to those things, plus all the in-kind things we get.
And so if you say, okay, we want to buy some raffle tickets, we want to donate to the Lions Club, $10 each. That's all they cost. And then all we need is a name and a phone number. Right. And if you know a line, do that. And if not, what's your number, Lion Bud?
318-423-3167. Give me a call, and I will make sure you get any information you need. We have plenty of information on the camp, by the way. And we're hunting campers right now. The applications are online at lionscamp.org. And go to the camp in Leesville, the Louisiana Lions Camp, and we'll get file the application and see about the only thing we can't accept is autism patients, and that's because of the rules.
The protocols. Okay, I think we got about a minute left. And so let me just thank Lion Bud Bird for being here today. Lion Bud, it was very informative. Thanks so much for being here. And remind you that next week you never know who's going to be sitting in the guest chair. And I'm just blessed that we're able to do this for David McMillan. Tom Pace, your Strategies for Living, live from Bossier Parish Community College studio in Building D. Telecommunications, where they're getting ready to do the news coming up at 12:30 in about 5 minutes. So stand by. God bless you. Blue skies, green lights. God love you. We'll see you next Monday, high noon, here from Bossier Parish Community College, Suddenlink, Channel 12. God bless.